Hello, friends and YouTube community and YouTube as a whole orchestrated platform of conformity. People are screaming and saying free speech. I heard a thing on SGT report, which I follow sometimes, and Richie Allen has been pulled off the YouTube platform, and other channels that present a threat are pulled off the YouTube platform. And especially, I suppose, if you have a certain amount of subscribers and all that kind of stuff. But YouTube is a platform of conformity because 99% of it is worthless, useless, idiosyncratic statements and positions people take that have no relevance to you or me other than being of value as entertainment. I'm not really opposed to entertainment because I see myself as a painter to also have a component within my work that is entertaining. I like entertaining you. I'd like you to feel good on some level, which is, I think, entertainment, how you respond to the world out there, because we don't really generate much hope in our position unless we feel good in some way. So yes, 99% of YouTube is predicated on making you feel good, but if you can't look at what's really happening, I mean, you're in the camps and you say to yourself, well, it could be worse. You're in the gulag and you say it could be worse and actually believe it. No, there at a certain point it can't be worse. And we're probably in a situation where I would be inclined to say, of course, in many circumstances it can get worse, but where it counts, it can't get worse because we're in an attack. We're suffering an attack on all life, as I've said, through the nuclear pollution, especially Fukushima, the dreaded red. Fukushima has reared its ugly head, and other plants are doing the same, like Hanford and Indian Point and Paducah, and all the plants that are spewing their ugly stuff. We're under attack. Can it get worse? Yeah, another one blows up. Can it get worse? The fundamental notion here is that it's happening. It's happening. So here is my thought. What is it, people going on YouTube and presenting their positions and with integrity and decency and feeling right about it and all that kind of, what is that sentiment that attracts me to them because they're soulmates. They have a conscience. They have a heart still beating in their chest, and they're acting on it. Now I'm going to reflect on this for a moment, and maybe even it's a suggestion. And I would say the most dangerous people aren't the Richie Allens and the SGTs and all the ones that are exposing the monster. Yes, we all know. I've said we all know, and they're being acted against as. It's a warning to say we're not going to take your pathetic bullshit because we're running the joint. So YouTube is like the platform that has revealed to us that somebody's running the joint. And, you and I have very little to say in it other than communicating with each other. The people that meet up, that communicate with each other. Just briefly, I'm just going to say, what is the most dangerous person? Who are the most dangerous people on earth? Okay, this is going to be my comment. Is it the people that threaten you and have all the predictable characteristics? This word is important. Predictable. Here's what I'm saying: the most dangerous people are the unpredictable ones. Who is like Alex Jones unpredictable? No, totally conformist and predictable, which is why he has a great presence on YouTube because they encourage it. Now, it's possible that Richie Allen, maybe to some extent, is unpredictable. I personally don't think so. There is an aspect to this. I'm not picking on him. Or SGT is totally predictable. You know exactly when you start watching a video by SGT, you know where you're gonna come out. It's like an amoeba grabbing a morsel and shitting it out at the back end because it's continuous dogmatism on the Christians and the religious stuff that hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. Why do you attach yourself to stuff that doesn't work? It may have attributes that you say are fabulous. Yeah, love your neighbor as yourself, and do unto others, and whatever. Let the children come to me. Yes, Jesus, let the children come to me. There are notions of value in all systems, but what I'm saying is the greatest threat against this, what I throw a blanket over it, I call it the culture of death. We exist in a culture of death. Back when? 6,000 years ago. It began. Look at my videos, just type in culture of death and you'll get my rendering, my notion of what it is that we're up against, that is now coming into fruition, into fulfillment. And I'm making this video to just remind people what it is in fact that is really dangerous to this platform. And people feel that they're not getting the views and all the subscribers that should be coming to them because they're saying something that's so important. Yeah, of course. Why do you think you would get subscribers and people looking for you? Because you're saying something that is a threat to the system. YouTube is built, it's a private platform built on the idea that they run the joint. This is like another reflection of what it is that we're involved in. Other people running the joint, because we do not have the courage to step out and act our conscience, which is what I keep saying over and over. If we started collectively to just a little bit, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit, whatever format that you want to express it in would just happen. The place would change really quickly. So, my point, the most dangerous people are the people that are unpredictable. And what makes me or someone unpredictable? As a painter, I challenge myself on a day-to-day level to surprise myself. I make work that you see behind me. I make work that looks a certain way, like, you know, it's like this, I call them sculpt paintings now. They're kind of three-dimensional, and they appear to be painting, but they're not really. They're what I call sculpt paintings. So in my own effort, in my own approach, I surprise myself as much as possible. Now, how about thinking in terms of your own, no matter how wonderful and enlightened your platform might be, what it is that you have to contribute to get our ass out of this sling? Just think about how you can be less predictable in your own life. What is it that you do? Now, I've always said that the standards of behavior that are considered to be within this culture of value are usually the conformist aspects, whichever way you want to see this, and whichever way you want to see this unfolding out there, whether it's through the institutions, political, religious, Hollywood, news. All those platforms are basically predictable and based on conformity. They want you to stay exactly the same. Now, the greatest resistance, and what YouTube really hates is unpredictability, because it's basically a tracking system of trying to predict what it is you're going to think and do. This is like, I believe this to be 5G. There has been commentary too as well on 5G. I have to look into this because this is connected to what has been unraveling the AI, unrolling itself. The AI, which is not intelligence, it's a tracking system. It's nothing else. It's nothing where you could say this is some kind of a technology that is self-aware in the sense of we are sentient and is able to be learning something. No, it is computing. It is a rapid, incredibly fast, has computing capacities, nanoseconds of 1 billion computations. This is not intelligence. This is something not related to you and me. We don't need a nanosecond in order to be brilliant. We do it in a split second of that computer split second. This is the nature of originality and creativity, which this thing will never have. So anyway, my point is the danger that we present as people still on this planet that are not appreciated, especially if you don't conform and if you're unpredictable. So figure out a way to be unpredictable. And your YouTube channel will disappear most likely, especially if you have more views. But if they erase a few, it's like a message, you know, it's like Richie, it's just sending a message out to say, hey, we're running the joint. That's what they're saying. And what is unpredictable? You know, what is courage? What is cowardice? Cowardice is violence. Cowardice is killing. Cowardice is destruction. Courage is kindness, generosity, compassion. This is courage. The least exercised aspect of ourselves is now exactly that. We lack courage. We're brutes. We're brutal. We're barbarians in the way we act. We have more wars and destruction in the last 100 years than ever in the history of mankind. This is a form of cowardice presented to us. We chew on this every day in whichever way, the self-destruction, the self-loathing that we've accepted from the culture of death that presents us with all the alternatives. There is no deviation, and the only deviation left is to be unpredictable. You will be extremely dangerous, not just because you expose the bastards, which is important, but in our own lives, we have to be unpredictable. We have to, now we should be totally predictable in our courage in terms of our caring. And using the only thing that we should be using over and over and be predictable in is exercising our conscience to do the right thing as much as possible, to the extent that we're capable of reflecting on ourselves and saying, this was wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. I have to find another way. This is the courage and the only predictability, which is unpredictable to the platform of the system that runs everything. Makes sense? And all you complainers about YouTube is doing this, YouTube is just a platform of conformity, and it weeds out anybody that is unpredictable. And if you now are the like I said, I haven't come to a conclusion on what their criteria is for eliminating people, because I do feel that Richie Allen and Alex Jones and I don't know, most people that I listen to are very predictable, and I'm predictable too, because I'm telling you over and over again, the idea of conscience is the only thing that'll take our ass out of this sling. I'm predictable, but that is unpredictable in the large scheme of things, because if only one person in a million does it on a regular basis, you see what I'm saying? It's rare. Who are the most dangerous people? Those that are unpredictable.